welcome to the daily newscast within the United Countries special by First Ukraine. You can find us on the frequencies available on our website firstua.com. I'm Olga Tkachenko and thank you for joining us. Yesterday's meeting under Verkhovna Rada against the constitutional amendments towards decentralization from a peaceful protest outgrowth in bloody battle. More than 100 people were injured and 3 persons died from the grenade explosion. Our journalists were following the sequence of the events.
The protest under the walls of Verkhovna Rada transforms into this after voting. According to the police, more than 2,000 people have gathered at the square in the morning. They are the followers of different political parties. But the demands are the same, that is not to change the constitution and not to grant the occupied territories with the right of local self-government. They oppose the idea that all the bandits, terrorists and others who kill our brothers should be legalized and should receive amnesty and continue to function at the love field of the Russian Federation. They are against that the Ukrainian people and all who live on the Ukrainian territory, that is to say, should feed Donbas region. Donbas always swore that they were feeding us, so why should we feed them now? They have ruined everything, so that it is the question whether we have to restore it again and feed them. After activists found out that 265 MPs voted in favor, the calls to assault Verkhovna Rada are heard and the disturbances have begun. Firstly, bottles and smoke bombs are thrown at the National Guard, and when the grenade has flied in from the place where protesters were. It was later confirmed by the Ministry of Internal Affairs. The reach is 100 meters. At once, the first wounded people have appeared. At this moment, the injured policemen are being taken out with the help of ambulances and simple patrol automobiles. At last, the wounded have been taken away and delivered to the hospitals. According to Minister of Internal Affairs Arsen Avakov, more than 100 policemen were injured and when the attacker has been arrested. When he was arrested, one grenade was with him and another he threw away. He confessed in it, and the check from a grenade was with him. He named himself a member of the Party Svoboda and the fighter of the battalion Sich. Such reproach in address to the Party Svoboda was firstly commented by the leader of the party, Oleg Ternibok. The fact that Avakov so effectively appointed guilty, moreover, he is not the first one who did so, only confirmed that this provocation had been planned by him. The disturbance began since the time when they gave designation to the enforcement agencies to begin displace people aggressively. And they, contrary to applicable laws, began to use rubber truncheons, tear gas and so on. The Kiev police report that they had started a number of criminal proceedings and the preventive measures for the arrested member of Svoboda party who had thrown the grenade most likely would be chosen tomorrow. Volodymyr Karaban, Mykola Chebotaryov, Alexander Volik, First Ukraine.
18 persons are remained detained for the yesterday events. Among them, there are 2 soldiers of the Ministry of Internal Affairs battalion called Sich. The police say that recently they both have written the dismissal reports. On the eve, the ministry released the video of interrogation of the main suspect, Igor Humanyuk. The check and 1 more grenade were found in his bag. Igor Humanyuk is a member of student wing of political party Svoboda in Kamenets-Podilsky. He participated in ATO as a volunteer and remained on the front line in Pisky for more than 8 months. In Kiev, he was on vacation. On account of last-day events, Petro Poroshenko entrusted heads of General Prosecutor's Office, Security Service and Ministry of Internal Affairs to create joint operational investigation group. During the meeting with security officials, he claimed that the punishment should be imposed not only upon the performers of crime.
Among the organizers were also the politicians, so that the investigation should be held as clearly as possible, so that the whole country and we should see how they behaved themselves. Moreover, the provocations have begun after the voting. Everyone who took part in it and all the political parties are responsible for what have happened.
Політичні сили, всі вони несуть відповідальність. Всі, хто брав в цьому участь.
Ukrainian Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk also appealed for punishment of guilty persons in yesterday's events under the parliament.
Today's crime that was committed under the flags of different political parties, including the political party Svoboda, should be not only investigated, but punished. As a citizen of Ukraine, and with respect to Article 348 of the Criminal Code of Ukraine, I demand life imprisonment for the person who had thrown the grenade that killed the serviceman of the National Guard of Ukraine.
The General Secretary of the UN is concerned with the confrontation under the walls of the Ukrainian parliament. He appealed to all the parties to remain moderate. And the head of the European diplomacy, Federica Mogherini, claimed that the decentralization process shouldn't be broken with the violence. The sympathy about the yesterday events was also expressed by the European Parliament. The statement was made by the heads of committees of foreign affairs and the EU-Ukraine Association, Elmar Brok and Andriy Plenkovich, accordingly. The politicians urged for the calmness and restoration of order. The voting in favor of constitutional amendments also was welcomed in USA. At the same time, America urged to bring justice people guilty in the yesterday events under the parliament. It was stated by the press secretary of the State Department, Mark Toner. He is convinced that all disputes in the democratic society should be resolved by the peaceful and just means.
We welcome today's vote by Ukraine's parliament on draft constitutional amendments on decentralization. This is an important step towards good governance for all Ukrainians, which also helps fulfill another key piece of the Minsk agreements. We deplore the violence outside the parliament today that reportedly resulted in the death of at least one police officer, as well as dozens of injuries. Our thoughts are with the families and friends of those killed and injured. We call on all Ukrainians, no matter their affiliation or organization, to respect law and order. We fully respect Ukrainians' right to engage in peaceful protests, but in a democratic society, grievances must be addressed peacefully and lawfully. We also call for a full investigation into the cause of today's violence. Those responsible should be held accountable.
And as for the ATO zone, the situation is stable on the east front line. The ATO headquarters say that terrorists opened fire mostly with the small arms, but only till the midnight. The key points in Mariinka and Opetne, located near Donetsk, were shelled. In Avdiivka, the grenade launcher was used. In Artemyevsk direction, they shelled Sanzharivka and Lozove. At Lugansk region, nearly at midnight, the positions in Krymsky were under fire coming from Sokilniki.
In general, yesterday, on the 31st of August, the illegal armed groups violated ceasefire more than 19 times. Today, on the 1st of September, the enemy doesn't use any weapon along the demarcation line.
Today is the Knowledge Day in Ukraine. With the first ring, the ceremonies and lessons have started at schools and at higher education institutions. For the first time, 400,000 of first-year pupils have gone to schools. The settler children from the occupied territories of Donbass region went to the new classes. And our journalists saw how the Knowledge Day was held at one of the Kyiv schools.
Dmytro came to a new school for the first time on the 1st of September. He is a fourth-year pupil. Some months before, he moved with his family from the occupied territory of Donbass. He recognizes that he is missing for his previous school, but he is ready for the new meetings. I like this school because it is huge and because there are a lot of classmates and friends. Maybe even friends from my previous school can come to this one. The mother of the boy says that they looked for a school where children not only study but also develop physically. My son is a sportsman. He is interested in tennis, football, painting and box, and we are so happy that there is a swimming pool in it. This year, almost 8,000 of settlers children came to the school in Kyiv. The Department of Education, Youth and Sports says that the curriculum takes into account the level of each child. We obviously look on the curriculum on which the child has studied, which subject he may have studied in depth. Taking into account, we propose our point to the parents. Sometimes parents choose the closest school to their place of living. We are ready to help new classmates in studying. Maybe I am ready to help them in math or in Ukraine. I will help them to write works and they wouldn't know how to do it. Firstly, we will get used to them and be friends, help them and play dober. All our pupils, the new ones, I think you all will be friends and will cooperate and work with them effectively in our new class. All in all pupils with their teachers will have to master the innovations of this year. The Minister of Education Sergei Kvit told the First Ukraine about the new program. From the beginning of September, the new concept of national patriotic education will be implemented. I ask everyone to go to the ministry's website and read this concept. We increased the number of English lesson hours, so there are such general changes. In general, in this year, pupils will have more English language lessons as senior forms. There will be a new subject, defense of the homeland. Ksenia Sereda, Andriy Skorik, Anna Vaitanik, First Ukraine.
It was the United Countries newscast by First Ukraine. You can find more details at our website, firstva.com. Olga Tkachenko was working for you in the studio. We wish you only good news. Take care and goodbye.